I'm invested. They're both talking slight about each other.
Started on the wrong foot there.
Oh, shit. While his partner's in there sniffing on his fingers. What is going on, gang? It is your boy Tiger. We are back with more reactions today. We're doing True Detective Season 1. I've heard a lot of great things. A lot of y'all told me this is masterpiece territory. No synopsis, nothing like that. I think the title kind of tells you you're dealing with, detectives. So hopefully we're getting into some really dope cases, some mystery, maybe some thriller elements as well too. Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson, right? I believe it's Woody Harrelson. I'm excited. I'm ready to watch it. Shout out to my Patreons. Appreciate and love each and every one of y'all. Short and sweet intro. Let's get into it. You guys know we're also watching Yellow Jackets, Black Sails, Peaky Blinders, The Good Place, Ted Lasso. So if you would like early access to any of those shows, you can catch those on my Patreon. Other than that, let's get to it. Skip intro. No, that's my first time hearing it.
What do you think?
Well, you don't pick your parents. And you don't pick your...
We literally are in Louisiana. I heard them say Creole in the opening song, Creole something. I was like, are we in Louisiana? So maybe the antler thing is some Hannibal shit too. Come on now.
Raw bone to me, edgy. That's what you all want to hear about, right? Dora Lang, Kids in the Woods.
Talk about Cole.
Strange.
Understatement.
Yeah. Rust, pick a fight with the sky. Didn't like its shade of blue.
Okay, so Matthew McConaughey is ornery as hell.
Ritual. Whoa. Murder. You can thank the advertiser for that. Yeah?
Matthew.
We assholes. I'd been on the job about 3 months till then. 2 previous cases were open and shut. 1995, my daughter's birthday.
All right, let's get to it. So I like how we gotta have some character development for Matthew's character. He's ornery, hard around the edges. Also, he's telling that from the past. Okay.
Hard and cold, state CID.
Fred wasn't scheduled for a burn.
Here, let's tape off this road and give me your log.
Wow. Get the sheriff car. Holy smokes. That's some Hannibal shit. I'm invested. Drawing spirals on her back and all kind of shit.
You ever see something like this?
No, sir. 8 years CID.
Them symbols. It's satanic.
A lot of terminology I'm gonna have to get used to.
Take license plates, anything that passes.
Lividity at the shoulders, thighs, and torso. She'd been on her back a while before he moved her.
The rest of us had these little notepads or something. He had this big ledger, like the tax man. As far as nicknames go.
A little detail somewhere way down the line makes you say,
We're seeing this from 2 different time perspectives, right? But the way Woody's talking about him is if something happened with Matthew and Matthew's mind broke or split, maybe from these cases, and maybe they're talking to him from in prison or something like that. That's why they're making it sound. Because he always thought that he used to be like this. He used to be like, or maybe he died, or whatever he's talking about. They're sounds like they're no longer partners.
breaks the case.
He's still clean cut working in office.
Man possessed by ungovernable rage, the brain. Any of those types could be a good detective, and any of those types could be an incompetent.
Which type were you?
Regular type dude with a big ass.
Yo, this too stupid.
Better than some, but, I knew how to talk to people, and I was steady. But he was smart.
He was smart. Now, was he stable or steady, like you said?
The second week we were together, I saw where he was living. Kind of made me feel for the guy.
Yeah, it's like he's talking about a case on Russ.
I'd offer you a seat, but
Don't mention it. I can't stay. I tell you guys, and believe me, past a certain age, a man without a family can be a bad thing.
Yes.
We'd encountered a metapsychotic. We tried to explain to Marty, but
They're both talking slight shit about each other.
this is gonna happen again. And what's happened before? Fetishization, iconography, an attachment of physical lust to fantasies and practices forbidden by society. He might not have known her, but this idea goes way back with him.
Chapter in one of those books on jumping to conclusions. You attach an assumption to a piece of evidence, you start to bend the narrative
To support it, that's fair.
prejudice.
That's fair.
Wait and see on the ID.
You gotta come to dinner. Can't put Maggie off anymore, so you just gotta.
All right.
Gordon, thanks for coming.
Marty?
Wasn't even sundown. He decided it was a good time to invite me over for dinner. My daughter's birthday, and I know there's nothing I can do about it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but
Hey.
What? Yeah, he showed up. Because it's his daughter's birthday. A little confused. So did his daughter die in 93? Or is the case we're watching taking place in 93 and did his daughter die before that? Maybe I should go back and hit the line one more time, because I think that's really important. 1430. So we'll come back to 1430. Give me 1 second. I might take this out the video, but I need to get a understanding.
Today, that scene, that is the most up thing I ever caught. But you're not a Christian, so what do you believe?
I believe that people shouldn't talk about this type of shit at work.
Hold on. 3 months we've been together. I get nothing from you. Today, do me a courtesy, okay? I'm not trying to convert you.
Look, I'd consider myself a realist, all right? But in philosophical terms, I'm what's called a pessimist.
Okay, what's that mean?
Means I'm bad at parties. We are creatures that should not exist by natural law.
Well, that sounds...
Oh, okay, Agent Smith.
awful, Russ.
We are things that labor under the illusion of having a self, this accretion of sensory experience and feeling, with total assurance that we are each somebody.
Important, more than really not.
In
Okay.
fact, everybody's nobody.
I wouldn't go around spouting that shit I was you. People around here don't think that way.
Stop reproducing. Walk hand in hand into extinction. One last midnight, brothers and sisters opting out of a raw deal.
Oh, shit.
3 months, I don't hear a word from you, and
You asked.
yeah, and now I'm begging you to shut the fuck up.
Yo, you did ask.
Got a bad taste in my mouth out here. Aluminum.
I got an idea. Let's make the car a place of silent reflection from now on. Okay?
Woody. What was that? Is that
Serving for dinner.
A bottle of wine would be nice, I guess. When you're at my house, I want you to chill the fuck out. Don't mention any of that you just said to me.
Of course not, Marty.
I think Matthew is probably really off his hinges. He's just keeping it subdued for now. And dealing with these cases and stuff like that is going to cause him to go wild. Similar to Will and Hannibal.
I mean, you never heard of any shit like this before. She had
Antlers.
Halloween shit.
Well, we're gonna have to do a press conference.
Matthew is too, for real Southern in this. You got Matthew over here giving the book interpretation of what he's seen and stuff like that. And then Woody, or whatever his name is in this, he's like, yo, this is some Halloween type shit, bro. Like, I don't know what we got going on. This shit is insane.
What about him? What do you think?
Smart.
You didn't say steady.
Aloof. Doesn't care about making friends. But he's already running with it. He's got a real mind for it.
He doesn't truly have a connection or something to Russ, so he's kind of in more of the power position as far as speaking to everybody else and stuff like that.
She had antlers. What does that mean?
It was a crown.
Do the briefing tomorrow, guys, really.
Do you mind if I skate? I got some names from Vice, Frost Farms. Checked around on our DB.
You want me to go with you?
Nah, just something to do.
He thinks you're holding him back.
You go ahead, I'll take care of the paperwork.
Like I said, I'm feeling a lot of stuff hit me at this time. My daughter's birthday, this dead woman. Figured I'd work the case, you know. Told you Jillo called or we got an ID. Nobody talked to me.
Always trying to check on to see if there's somebody out there gathering them up. That's smart.
I was hoping to ask y'all a few questions.
Come on, man.
I'll get the next round.
You making trouble for us, sir?
I'm Rust, by the way.
I'm Annette. She's Lucy.
I know it's subtle, but even moments like that show the difference in their characters, right? Matthew's still like, I keep calling him Matthew. Russ is still out here working the case, trying to figure out what's going on. And, you know, Woody Harrelson's character, you know, he's home with his family, trying to enjoy that time. Like, I mean, as he should be doing, but you can just see Matthew. They're just not on the same wavelength with stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. We see a lot of girls like that around.
Any girls like that? Hadn't seen around lately? Missing like? Oh, I wouldn't bust somebody for hooking. I'm murder police.
There's a girl named Liza, another called Destiny, but I seen Destiny yesterday at McDonald's.
What about Liza?
She's here.
Go give her a chat, Matthew. I mean, Russ. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you get pills pretty easy. Quaaludes. Anything barbittle.
What's he like?
I don't sleep.
Caught up in a bad one yesterday.
You had that woman from Erath? Girls will be up soon.
I got a shower. Got a debriefing today and maybe a press conference later.
Marty, how you want your coffee, doll?
Strong and black, just like you.
Came back. Dora Lang, prize for shoplifting, possession, and solicitation.
We got ligature marks on the wrists and ankles, evidence of vaginal intercourse. Bound upright. Toxicology hit for lysergic acid and methamphetamine.
It's crystal and LSD.
Bound, tortured with a knife, strangled, posed out there.
Yeah, put it in the layman's terms.
The horns are deer antlers. Again, no prints on anything.
Memory of a town, and the memory's fading. It's like there was never anything here but jungle.
He can't see
Stop saying shit like that. It's unprofessional.
Is that what I'm going for here?
He gets into the it's very similar to how Will does in Hannibal, just not as quick. So it seems more real.
You get any sleep last night?
I don't sleep. I just dream.
All right, here's what we got so far. Deceased name is Dora Lang, 28.
You stay busy now? The business?
Well, yeah, I got the security firm, PI stuff, routine. No family, idle hands. You stay busy.
What you thinking, Matthew? Russ? Gosh dang it. What about his daughter, maybe?
You believe in ghosts?
He does not want to hear you.
Say about silent reflection.
He's trying to talk to you, motherfucker. Y'all gotta try and get on the same page.
Did you know the Fontenot girl? One went missing.
Her? Heard of us once or twice, 5 or 6 years back.
No, sir, it's not.
I want to ask y'all something. Y'all think maybe this have something to do with those cats?
What cat?
2 of them. One, and a couple of weeks later, another. Somebody caught them up, turned the insides out, and nailed them to the front door twice.
Can I ask you something? These look familiar to you. Seen them anywhere?
No, they look like something that might be carved into a tree or something. Now, that looked like something my old auntie taught us how to make when I was a tyke.
Witchcraft shit, maybe.
Tell them stories why they tying sticks together.
10-year-old girl goes missing, that doesn't go statewide.
Now, hold on now. My understanding, the little girl went off with her birth daddy. Did you check her mom's record? Possession, solicitation. I believe Ted knew the family, and the feeling was little girl's better off with her daddy. Mom seemed to agree.
What the hell is this?
Little girl said a green-eared spaghetti monster chased her through some woods. Now, we had her work with a sketch artist, and she told us that looked exactly right.
You wanna pick my brain, you work a room, you buy a man a cheeseburger and a Coke, don't you? Appreciate a little hustle up on that.
Civilians came across the body of a female in a sugarcane field outside of Erath, and we are not yet in a position to release the identity of the victim. Have several leads, and hopefully we'll have a suspect for you in custody soon.
Let's talk about your ex, Dora Lang.
You want to talk Dora? What she said I done now?
Nothing. We're just curious if you knew what she's been up to, maybe where she's living.
Nope. Got a divorce papers pushed through after I've been here about a year. I don't blame the weed, meth, juice.
Charlie, how'd y'all meet?
Growed up together, dropped out same time. Hitched up way too quick. Need some scratch from a store, and Dory owes me money. She ain't got no phone, so got the number to a friend Carla, got her to call me back, and she ain't made no sense.
Carla's full name and phone number.
What you mean she didn't make sense?
Talking about she met a king.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Anyway, what Dory do?
Dory's dead. Thank you, boys. We almost had a moment there.
Damn, Matthew? Russ?
You want to talk the whole case through or just the end?
No.
But what he didn't say is that this is about something else.
Yeah, we did. You know anything about that? About Lake Charles.
What about that dinner you mentioned? He turned up drunk.
Oh.
Yeah, let's get back to that.
That was a bit later. It was kind of funny, the flowers. I can't barely stand up. You don't drink with me or the boys. And you gotta get a load on before you visit my family.
No, Marty, it's not like that. I didn't mean to. All right? I don't drink because I've had trouble with it before. I didn't mean to.
You can even hear the train in the back. That reminds me of home.
Have some more coffee. Just try to make 10 minutes of conversation.
Got it. Marty, I'm sorry, man.
Forget it.
So nice to finally meet you.
Well, I tried to tell her you aren't big on socializing.
I said that your life's in this.
Not quite as dramatic as that, hon. I never fired my gun.
Oh, shit.
You fired your gun?
Audrey.
Yes.
Yes.
You saw people?
She smeared spaghetti out the ass, Dad.
Dad's never shot anybody.
Oh, that's good. You don't want to shoot people.
But you have.
Working here the last 10, 12 years.
What kind of work?
Narcotics, mostly. I was on the robbery squad in Houston until '89.
Oh, be right back. Y'all keep eating.
You're not married?
Once. Not anymore.
Children?
One. She passed. Marriage didn't last long after that.
I wonder if he even knows about his kid passing.
What are y'all talking about?
Your job. What do you know about him, Marty?
Not a lot. He could be a good detective.
You ever ask him about himself?
Baby, trust me, he did not want to pick this man's brain. Need to go or what?
No, it's nothing. Can't wait till tomorrow.
Russ, what you were saying before?
You fly fish?
A little bit.
He don't even know that.
So, you and Cole went bad in '02, huh?
What happened between me and him don't have nothing to do with Dora Lang. I worked with Russ Cole for 7 years. He was a good detective. It don't matter how we ended it. I mean, and I don't hold grudges. I believe that's the shit that leads to cancer. But why am I talking about dinner? Y'all want to walk through the lane?
Yeah, what are we...
This other stuff, what's going on?
Well, personally, I heard he was a ace case man, right? I'd like to understand his process.
Now he's curious.
You guys canvassed the bars pretty good today?
Up your ass, Cole. Why don't you do your own leg work, you rat
What the hell? Oh, you slapped the shit out your...
Say it again with me.
Tax man.
Had 3 hits on working. No one close to her, naturally. Few names recognized her as occasional. Like she tricked now and then. Said her uncle's Danny Fontenot, pitcher, LSU.
Yeah, I watched him play. Great player.
He lives close by.
He runs our statewide charity drive.
This is Detective Hart, Detective Cole.
Very
Pleasure,
good
sir.
to meet you, officers.
Mr. Cole.
Eddie's been speaking to me about it, concerned, very concerned.
We've been discussing the viability of a task force to investigate crimes with an anti-Christian connotation.
Do what? Really?
Thank you for doing your part.
Thank you, sir. You kidding me?
Unbelievable. Anti-Christian. Another Eddie. Huh?
Hi. I'm looking for Detective Hart and staff depositions for him.
Judge Sutpin told me to make sure and give them to Detective Hart and no one else.
Nice to talk. Thanks, Kathleen.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Your victim was Dora Lang. You all checked on Marie Fontenot. Why?
Maybe it's tied together.
She had an uncle who lived nearby. And we'll call it intuition.
I'm actually sorry. We wanted to ask you about your niece, Marie.
How much could you put on one family? I asked the Lord. We try to get by.
Did you know Marie's birth father?
Lynn Strokes was her daddy.
We had heard that Marie ran off with him and she wasn't really missing.
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody heard from Lynn? Anybody maybe knows where he's at? Do you know where Debbie is now?
She married another man. Not the one she's with. Marie. She was in Vegas last we heard. We weren't her legal guardians, but more than her mama's.
Excuse me, I'll check.
Inside on the floor on the right.
Show us that grass.
I haven't looked in there since the police first came.
Yeah.
Well, you knew that already.
Yeah, there's specifics consistent to the 95 case. Details that weren't public knowledge.
You were off the grid for 8 years, right?
If we already caught him in 95.
Don't tell me we got a case of it happened in a movie with Gerard Butler and Jamie Foxx, and it kind of happens in Hannibal as well too, where somebody being Russ, character believes the system doesn't work right, so they feel personally wronged or something, or they just don't like the way the world works, so they start doing shit themselves, like in some type of weird vindication or weird way to show that the system is flawed and it doesn't work and people can be guilty of, like, I don't know. I don't know how to piece it together, but something like that. So maybe Matthew did this, is what maybe they're trying to give us hints to. Especially because they said, his opening thing was maybe people don't care. People don't really have a purpose besides just being here, and maybe we've grown too much into sentience or whatever. When we really don't have any importance at all. Maybe it's some type of shit like that.
And start asking the right questions.
Maybe he's created a puzzle for people to have to put together and figure out and stuff like that, because he's tired of how the system works. People doing stuff because, oh, this is his cousin or this and that, and you're going to invite me over to dinner whenever we have all these things to work on. And he's probably been wrong thinking about whatever happened to his daughter, however she died in there. His wife leaving him and stuff like that. So maybe that's what's truly going on, because Woody Harrelson's character, it seems like he might be too dumb to try to pull something like that off, but Matthew's character, he's got some loose hinges going on. So I'm very intrigued with what's going to happen as the story goes further, now that we know both of these two guys are being interviewed about a different case, and they did end up solving this one. And Matthew disappeared for 10 years, something like that. What were you doing in between that time gap? Eventually, I'm sure that'll be revealed. But with this new case and new series of things going on, Matthew is my number one suspect. At the end of episode 1, right? I liked it. I liked the acting from both characters. I liked the differences in them that make them push apart from each other. Probably once upon a time, Matthew's character was a family man, but he's not that anymore because of what's happened. Woody's character is still involved with his family, things like that. He just seems almost like one of the guys. And I know that's whenever he was speaking about the different type of detectives that you have. He's like, I'm just kind of like an average, normal dude. And he plays around saying with a big and shit. Like he's just a dumb guy's guy, And then you have a character like Matthew, what he told us early on. Well, he's kind of smart too. He told us, he's smart, but it's hard to find somebody who's smart and steady. So maybe Matthew is not so steady. Maybe they solved the riddle for us in the first couple minutes. But I'm excited to see where it's going to go. This is dope episode 1. I will be connecting this to episode 2. So that's it for now. I'll see y'all here in a couple minutes. I just need to grab something to eat. But I appreciate y'all. Shout out to my Patrons. And we're going to knock out another episode here in a second. Thank you for watching. I will be honest with y'all. This is the 4th time I'm trying to do this intro because I keep just speeding through it too much. I need to slow down and not be so excited. At least that's what Miss Taco told me. She was listening through the door laughing at me. It's just sometimes you be so hyped to watch something, you just, I don't know. What is going on, gang? It's your boy Taco. We are back with more True Detective Season 1. I'm excited to get back into it. Shout out to the Patreon gang. The thing is, I love the, it's not duality because the characters are so different. I love the differences between our two main characters that we have between Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey. I think it's just made for some great, like I like their banter, even though it seems a little obtuse or a little, seems a little off, right? Like they're definitely not on the same page with anything. A part of me is almost thinking maybe that's like a misdirection they're trying to do to us to make us think they couldn't have worked together. What if they did work together and did some wild shit? But I don't know. As of right now, I really feel like Matthew is the person of interest that we're going at with this, with these upcoming events and everything. Just because of, you know, his family history, the things that happened to him in his past, how invested he is into like those books and different things that he reads, and how he's able to, kind of similar to Will Graham in the Hannibal, how he's able to get into a character, and how he seems a little detached from humanity as well too. Or not detached from humanity, but he's very self-aware of like what would make our life not so special, right? Like he's like, we're just another person technically. So I'm excited to see how they're going to expand on his character and the differences in between him and Woody Harrelson, and how this new case that they didn't solve came into action, and the case that they did solve, how they ended up figuring out that case at the same time. So I think it's cool that they're having two different cases going on at the same time. It keeps you really intrigued. So let's get into it.
My daughter, my wife. Your son just got your name on it, like a bullet.
About that sculpture thing. Kind of strange it turns up like that years later.
Yeah, nobody knew why that thing was in the playhouse.
Yeah. What's up, transition?
To me, it was like someone was having a conversation, you know. That mean anything to you?
It was like he's actually interviewing y'all.
God, on TV, what we're in the clutches of, and I prayed for that woman's family.
She's from Breaking Bad.
Mrs. Kelly. What about her father?
Why? What have you heard? Why wouldn't a father bathe his own child? He died on the road. He drove a Peterbilt. He took an exit too fast, rolled over. She didn't talk about her daddy none. From Charlie. Ow. Ah. Hail Miller, full of grace. I worked in dry cleaning for 20 years. And chemicals. That's what's wrong with my nails.
Packed lunches, bedtime story. Your mom's still alive?
Maybe.
My dad, I had about 6 inches on him. You know, there was a time that men didn't air their bull to the world. You know, it just wasn't a part of their job. Part of Russ' problem was there was things he needed that he couldn't admit to.
Afternoon, man.
So we talked to the victim's friend next, I believe.
Miss Carla?
I thought maybe she'd gotten into something, like gaming again. Thin, loopy, like high. Something wrong with them.
Her landlord said she'd moved out last summer.
That's when I stopped seeing her so much. She mentioned someplace down south, like around Spanish Lake.
She sounds sad, Marty. Like a torn-up person on her last legs. She was just an easy target for him. Painted symbols on their back. Huh?
Yeah. You know what tweakers get up to? Shit, man, this dude in New Orleans cut up his girl, felt remorse, tried to piece her back together with crazy glue.
That's just drug insanity. Ah, that's not this. This has scope.
Yeah, it's because it's like he can't convince Woody to think profoundly is not the word, but like deeper about the situation at hand here. So like, yeah, I'm still on the side of Matthew's doing this in a sense to show people something. I don't know.
That's what it's like. You work cases. Days like lost dogs.
Build a story day after day.
God, that's beautiful. Reminds me of home.
Hey, the other night, why didn't you leave when I had Chris call?
Well, I guess I'd sobered up a little. Besides, it wasn't as bad as I thought, being around your family.
Maybe because you got to talk about something.
Why'd you think that?
I was married, Marty, for 3 years. Baby girl, she died. Car accident, she was 2 years old.
Kid died? I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry. I didn't...
No, I mean, it wasn't you guys. It was just me. You know, that's not good for them to be around me. You know, I wear them down.
You missed some things on the job. You know what I mean. Decompress before you can go being a family man. What you get into working, you can't have the kids around that. Might as well stop by.
Oh, he's around.
I've hardly had anything to drink.
Come on, Woody, you piece of shit.
In the end, it's for the good of the family.
Nah, brother.
What's that?
Oh, well, I got you a present.
Exactly these visions you mentioned.
Chemical. Flashbacks, neural damage. I spent 4 years undercover.
Oh, shit.
You know what that means? Fed rumors I first come in. What, you two don't know about them? Shit.
You want a blues?
Quaaludes.
Downers?
Dopey stuff.
I'm thinking we'll go for 3 a pill.
What about rough trade? Scary guys. You girls talk.
Around here, they're rough.
Working girls might know the blonde.
If she was gaming I-10 Southside, heard of this place. Kind of trailer park. You know the place?
What'd you do last night? I called up here late.
It's just more of showing you how these two individuals are really, really different types of characters. I don't want to keep calling you Woody. Detective Hart. Oh, shit, I'm sorry. Detective Hart keeps falling into... Well, not keeps falling into, but we're showing, you know, his infidelities and things he'll do, and he's cheating on his wife, and they got kids and stuff like that. And then you have Detective Cole over here, who even he's divorced and his wife is gone or whatever. I'm sure he does some stuff, but from portrayal of what they're showing, you know, he's in a room with a hooker and she's basically trying to throw it at him, and he's just focused on the job and getting this stuff done. So it just shows the differences in these characters and how, of course, they wouldn't be able to have a bond. They don't really have much in common besides their job.
We're thinking that he's been doing this a while.
Wow.
To go out and you just have a drink here.
I can't meet a nice man at home.
That hurts me. When you speak to me in a passive-aggressive way, I always talk straight to you.
I need to be considering my options as a young woman.
How good is cake?
Hell no.
Yeah, I think I might have found something good. Bunny Ranch down south. On Spanish Lake.
I thought we were pulling old John's today.
Yeah, we should do this first.
Uh-oh.
Key to a healthy marriage.
Oh, that's Maggie, huh?
What's with your nose?
Nothing, man. Sorry, forget it.
I get a connotation being implied here about my wife.
The high tide you walking in with?
You got some idea how my wife's supposed to smell?
No, I just meant you wearing the same clothes as you did yesterday. Coupled with the fact that I ain't stupid.
Yeah.
Wasn't making no comment as to that.
Don't say her name.
You got some self-loathing to do this morning, that's...
Yeah. But don't put it on me, brother.
Using your hands over.
Yeah.
How would that work exactly?
Snap your wrist. You're senior detective.
And even though y'all are completely different, he's also not aloof, but like if you're gonna do what you're doing, go ahead. But he's not. It don't seem like he's really emotionally invested in it. Checking his pulse to see if you stay calm and shit.
You got a specific location for this place, or we're just gonna wander around till we find it?
I'm gonna have to ask for directions.
Maybe you could just follow your nose.
Oh, you still trying to be funny?
He knew a few CIs from his narco days. They knew these parts. Put us in touch with some names. Russ had about as sharp an eye for weakness as I ever see.
I'll be right back.
It's my bad, boys. Maybe we got started on the wrong foot there.
Oh, shit.
You remember where that little whorehouse is, huh?
While his partner's in there sniffing coochie on his fingers. It's crazy growing up in areas that look like this. Except for that.
Martin Hart, Rustin Cole, state CID.
What is this, some kind of hillbilly bunny ranch?
Excuse me. You might want to talk to Sheriff Bilson before you start tossing accusations around.
No, I got nothing against hillbillies.
Relax, that's not why we're here. Well, something happened to a girl and we need to know if any of you knew her.
Something happened?
You know about that woman found outside of Erath?
You pretty good friends with her?
She was nice to me when I first came around.
You got any idea where she might have been staying the last few weeks?
Her ex is in prison. I guess maybe she got a new place. She'd been going to church.
So we need to go to this church.
We're gonna need to question any girls might have known her.
She was talking about this church and some king she met, right?
That girl's not 18. Sheriff, know you got underage working here?
What do you know about where that girl's been? Where she come from? You want to know Beth's situation? Before she ran out on her uncle?
At that age, she is not equipped to make those kind of choices.
Girls walk this earth all the time screwing for free. Why is it you add business to the mix and boys like you can't stand the thought? I'll tell you. It's 'cause suddenly you don't own it.
We'll be in touch.
Yes, thank you.
Got a down payment?
Shitting on any moment of decency, part of your job description.
This is her diary, Marty.
Believe this shit. Girl that young.
It's crazy how many moments we get of Matthew's character being, like, not hooked, but actually working the case and being detached from, like, normal humanity things. Then we have Woody's character, who's the exact opposite. He almost don't give a what's going on with the case, but some of these other things he picks up on and they mean something to him. Like, he seems like he's the guy's guy. He cares about the underage girl, stuff like that. They're two very complex characters, but then he's also cheating on his wife and shit like that. Then Matthew's trying to solve these cases and stuff, but he's also very detached. It makes for a very intriguing combo to watch work.
Fried her brain or whatever she was on. Sounds like she didn't have much to begin with.
No, don't read it off. Write it off.
What if he was dosing her regular?
We should stay out here today. Check around for Johns, maybe knew her.
Yeah, y'all should go to that church.
Well, we should go there. Could be the church everyone mentioned.
Well, let's check around for Johns while we're out here and pick up the church on Monday.
State attorney gave me one chance to stay out of jail. He said, you can keep your profile, but we want to make you our wild man junkie. So they did. They made me a floater, like a trick. You know, any agency or department needed a deep undercover narco.
They caught you.
They got me.
And they kept you out there for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But all the shit he was going through.
In February of '93, I killed 3 cartel men in the Port of Houston. 325s in the side and ended up at North Shore Psychiatric Hospital in Lubbock, Texas. Psych ward being in Lubbock, Texas. You ever been there?
Yeah.
They offered me psych pension. Jackpot, right?
That is 2 hours from my
I
hometown.
said no. I said, put me on homicide. So by then, I was owed quite a few papers, and Louisiana is what they had.
So we get the backstory a little bit of what he's been through. He was kind of pimped out by his own people after all the trauma and bullshit the trauma and shit he went through with his wife, losing his daughter, working 4 years undercover as a narcotics agent, right? Deep undercover with all that shit that he went through going on, the divorce. So now he's single, probably, trying to get by. You kill somebody because within 3 months you're on coke. What did he say? He hitting 3 8-balls or some shit. So he was, and then he saw some meth head inject his baby with meth or something. He said like that. So he ended up blasting his head. They owed him a favor. Oh, they owed him a favor. Then they put him undercover. Just he's been through all kind of shit. And then he ended up in Louisiana, and that's why a lot of his stuff was, you couldn't look at it. But, yeah, you can understand why he's a little more detached from just being the normal Joe Schmo anymore.
Why homicide?
Oh, something I saw at North Shore. The body is not one member, but many. I was just trying to stay a part of the body now.
Yeah. Grandpa, I can't tell if it's working.
You'll know, honey. It'll yank at you hard.
Okay.
Working it,
Things like that didn't happen in these parts when I was young. People said ma'am and sir. Families stayed together. Everyone wasn't out in the street yelling about their rights.
Things are so great.
Southern shit.
If I have a problem with someone, I talk to them, Ma.
Well, you should be able to talk to me. I know what it's like to be married to a man.
I think that you need to get your cable fixed and stop confusing me with your soap operas.
Well, you beat up on what you can't control. Makes it bad for everybody else.
I bet every old man probably said the same thing. And old men die, and the world keeps spinning.
It speaks to his philosophy.
Okay, well, how about we all head back there?
Have any guys come around lately looking for anything more than a good time? You might be able to remember for a little more money.
I might.
You might.
Years. We've been through this. Sweetheart, listen to me. There is nowhere else I want to be.
I wonder if you even know your line.
Come on! I worked 30 hours straight and spent the weekend listening to your dad's bullshit. I come home to one place where there's supposed to be peace and calm, and you throw this shit.
Who told you that? It's not always that way. It's not supposed to be.
It's supposed to be what I want. It's supposed to help me.
We do help you.
Yeah, he's selfish.
I'm trying to make you feel bad for me.
I think you're the greatest woman I ever met, and you're the greatest thing that ever happened to me. Sometimes I think you might have a penchant for self-pity. And right now, I need you to be strong.
No, it's you, dude. You half-ass do your job.
You have developed some sort of selective.
Deafness. Yes.
Used to not be such a chicken shit, I swear.
Even your mom thinks you're a ball buster.
Oh, here he goes. I'm trying to bring your mom into it.
Tell the girls dinner.
Dinner time, kids.
Huh?
Yeah, we're starving.
Who the fucking to?
Yeah, really.
What the actual are those kids?
Yeah.
Were they about to? They set up a.
Sometimes I feel grateful.
Yeah.
Blackness, she slipped off into another, deeper kind. Isn't that a beautiful way to go out? Painlessly. As to my daughter, she spared me the sin.
Hey, Kathleen, you little vixen. Any chance of some coffee?
Of course.
Majors introduced me. New flying squad.
You know, Mark Daughtry, Ted Bertrand. We've been tasked with investigating crimes with possible occult links. There's been a rash of animal mutilations, cemeteries defiled.
And they want to see what we have on the Lang case.
Uh-huh.
You know me, I don't see the connection between 2 dead cats and a murdered woman.
We're not stepping on your toes, Marty. We just got the mandate. We got to compare notes with what you got.
Xerox all you want. Make you feel like good cops.
Yo.
You too, my office. You got an opinion about anything? You hold on to it. You hold on to it, or you tell it to Marty. Otherwise, button your big fat mouth.
Well, this God bothering. It's a political circle. You know this.
Is this a place you live? You had anything in the last weeks? You are upright only by the grace of this man's reputation. You ever solve a murder, been in the red more than a week? You ever clear one where 2 rounds of questions didn't hand you the
Oh, come on.
No, you got leads, you got a timeline. You know what I got? I got a brand new task force wants to take it off our hands.
We have a lead.
Oh, for Christ's sake, off, Cole.
Oh, Lord.
You want to dump this one off? Yeah, I'd think about it, give him the spotlight. Well, you're a smart. Your mouth shut.
Church. Our Vic was spending a lot of time there. That's where we were headed. It could be the break we need.
Inside whatever they're putting over you, how much more time could you get us?
Right now, it's up for discussion. They're just going to stop asking questions, Marty, and they're going to give orders. That's that.
Give us the rest of the month. Play is with the task force, yeah?
I'll try. And then you two start catching again.
Yeah. Which indicates you think I'm too thick to realize that y'all are trying to jam somebody up. You're on to something new.
So Cole didn't want to give it to the task force. Did you?
I did not.
Yeah, they think Cole did something. What the? Oh, he's tripping.
So when I see things, man, I just roll with it.
You still see things?
No, they stopped altogether.
Fire must have happened a long time ago. Okay. Place is trashed. This ain't no kind of anything.
Yeah, back then, the vision. Most of the time, I was convinced that I'd lost it. But there were other times I thought I was mainlining the secret truth of the universe.
That's why y'all need to get to that church. But we know eventually that they do solve the case. We know that. So we know we're gonna find our guys. But I am excited to see how it all gets put together, how the pieces of the puzzle are put there. And I like the pressure that they're getting from their boss as well too. You can tell, Cole was like, you know, there's some other shit going on, and they're trying to make it like some type of stunt. Just put all the bells and whistles on it. Like, let us work, let us do what we're doing. All this other bullshit pressure and shit like that, like, we need some of that gone so we can actually get to the bottom of it. And I like that, you know, as much as Cole seems like he's putting everything together, in a sense he does need Woody's character. He needs him to help him, because without him, this case might have been given to somebody else already. So as much as he is kind of a dick and, you know, just treating his wife bad and stuff like that, he is helping progress this case as well too. And it's just off the, you know, just hearing lines that for us as the viewers, because we know we get to see the shicey shit that he does based off his reputation and things like that. Like, it hits you in a weird way just because we know he's a very complex character, but there are a lot of parts of him that are a piece of shit, you know. And that's the thing that speaks about us as people in general. Nobody is 100% good. Nobody is 100% bad. There is a yin to the yang. We are all very complex beings, right? So we get to see a lot of the good of him and some of the bad as well. I like the touch of the adding the, well, I don't like that she was underage, but, you know, his actions with her being underage and trying to, like, find a way to you know, do some good and stuff like that. And then you even have Cole's character, Matthew McConaughey's character, commenting on that, like, was that a down payment? He's like, and then Woody Harrelson's response, like, is it part of your job just to critique every little thing that could be almost seen as decent that I'm trying to do? Like you were just on me about this, now you on me about that. And then, you know, you have Matthew's character going there and beating the dudes up while Woody's in there sniffing his fingers and shit. Like, they make a very strange team, but it's really funny to watch, or intriguing to watch their I would say lack of banter, but the little bit of banter that they do have with each other, even though they're so opposite. You know, the stuff that Woody has going on with his wife and stuff like that. The way he tried to manipulate her too, and make it seem like she was being selfish when it's really him. And you know, maybe there's a lot of people that can relate to that. Like, you're not really telling me what's going on. A lot of what I do is for you, from his wife's perspective, and you're lying. You're saying, you know, this about the job and you're stressed and that. But a lot of it, really, bro, you're just kind of chillaxing. Like, you ain't really going hard like that. You got time to go bullshit and around. You got time to go cheat and bullshit. I mean, like, you ain't really about it like that. And then the added touch of, I like the way they segued from Woody's kids, creating a whole scene there, right? To, I forgot exactly what Matthew McConaughey's character said, but he's like basically talking about, you know, how he's trying to take a glass half full approach to it. You know, his child is basically spared from this type of life, these type of things happen to be around and stuff like that. You know, you actually saved me from fatherhood, you know, and, you know, going through grief and all that stuff, somebody could, especially with the way he thinks, could be processing that as that, like, maybe I was just spared from even having to go through that in my childhood as well too. I really enjoyed this episode. I'm excited. It kind of sucks, like, I'm not gonna watch it for a couple of days. I got some other stuff to watch, but I'm excited for True Detective. I'm ready to finish out. I mean, we're only on episode 2, but I'm super highly invested, and I love that we have this case going on. Then we have the mystery of what happened in the future and the pressures that are being put on them to get this case done, while we're also getting to dive deep into these very complex characters. I enjoyed it a lot. Shout out to my Patreons. Thank y'all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you again.